Have you guys ever had a dish of like pasta or macaroni that you were just wondering like, what in the world am I going to put this in to keep it cold? Like I don't have a cooler or it doesn't fit my cooler? Well, I came up with a solution this weekend that I think you guys might actually find interesting. So I decided to share it. I'm Alex, and welcome to the Renaissance Builder. Okay, so this one's just going to be a quickie because, well, I'm like swamped with just things that need to be done, and like I got a mess and I didn't even bother cleaning it up because, well, I don't have time. Anywho, pardon the mess, whatever. The whole point of this. So Thanksgiving come around. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to the troops overseas who didn't get to enjoy their Thanksgiving with their families. And everybody else, remembrance of all the family members that couldn't be there at our Thanksgivings and you know, all that good stuff. Hope we were all thankful for at least something. So yeah, Thanksgiving was just this past weekend, and lo and behold, like I asked my wife to make this buffalo chicken dip, right? It's really good stuff. And so I asked her to make this buffalo chicken dip, and she's like, what should I put it in? And like, we spent a couple days trying to figure out like what Tupperware or bowls, because it's kind of like layered, and it needs to stay layered and then like be baked fresh, and it's a 6-hour drive. Well, 8 hours if you consider the child and all the stops you need to make, you know. Did you poop yet? No. Anyhow, I digress. That one fits. I'm keeping that. Anyhow, so yeah, she came up with a dish. She made the dish, and then we had to keep it cold for the trip down south until it could be stuck in a refrigerator to be stuck in the oven. Well, she made the dish, and then she's like, all right, here you go. And I'm like, I don't have a cooler that fits this thing. So I just, right off the wing in it, she like had these extra tinfoil, you guys know the tinfoil dishes that you can buy to put things in. It's like disposable ovenware kind of stuff. Well, anyhow, she had an extra one, and it just clicked on me. Like, here's a box, here's the tin, and I already had a couple cans of great stuff laying around, right? So I said, you know what? We're going to make one. So that's what we did. We made a cooler specifically for that dish. And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but it worked out pretty darn well. For the most part. Alright, so here's how you get started with this. First, you need, well, the tin. Sorry, I don't have my props, like literally, I'm just winging it this time. So you need whatever dish that you're going to be transporting, right? You get a disposable tin, the tinfoil pan, to fit that dish, right? Then you need a box that fits in, preferably 1 to 2 inches of depth around it, space, right? So I got pictures, gonna post, they're gonna be like doing the pictures voiceover kind of thing here. So anyhow, you need the tin, you need the box, and you need great stuff. Now I also used aluminum foil as like a liner and tech tip, not tech science trivia thing. Infraradiation is able to heat things up and is able to, remember we talked about the bandwidth with microwave energy? Well, infraradiation does the same thing. Infraradiation can travel through stuff. Like infraradiation can travel through this bottle and heat up the stuff that's inside this bottle. That's a poor example. The bottle's clear. That's metal. Oh, I'm just like loads of, well, anyhow, infraradiation can travel through my hand. In fact, that's how the heartbeat thingies work when they clip it on your finger. It shows an infrared light. It reflects off your blood. But anyhow, the tinfoil blocks infraradiation. So anything that's emitting infrared heat, the tinfoil blocks it. So I use tinfoil to, you know, do that. But you don't have to. So that's up to you. But anyhow, getting on to this. What you do is you take your tray of your disposable tin tray, right? And you flip it over. You flip it over because you want to put a layer of foam on the bottom of that tray first and let it set up a good bit so that when you set it upright, it actually holds there, right? So you put your foam up in there. I'm going to say at least 1 inch to 2 inches thick. You put your foam in the bottom. I got a picture of it. You'll see it. Let that set up 30 minutes to an hour maybe, and then flip it over and put it down inside the box. Now you take your great stuff and you fill in all the rest of the space up until it's level with the lip of that tinfoil tray. Now the tinfoil tray is going to stay there, right? That's why you want the disposable one. Do not use your wife's good stuff. She'll murder you. You'll be stuck cleaning it, or at least attempting to. So fill it up with great stuff until you get to the level of the lip, okay? Now's when you want to take either saran wrap or wax paper. Actually, let me correct myself. Let that sit. Let it dry for, well, the can says up to 8 hours of set time. You don't want to encapsulate that until it has time to dry. Like, it's got to do its thing. Kind of like glue, you know, the foam needs to set up. If you don't let it set up, then it'll just be a mushy mess for a while. Anyhow, I'm getting on a long tangent. I didn't want it to be this long. So, back on track. So, fill it up to the level of the lip. Take some wax paper and lay it on top. Then take the lid to that tray or a second tray of the same type and lay it right upside down to make the top, okay? And still inside that same box. Box has to be deep enough. So flip that up on top and then fill in the top with great stuff all around it. Just fill it all the way up until it's at least 1 to 2 inches higher. So there's at least 1 to 2 inches of insulation on top of the lid. That way your entire tray is surrounded by 1 to 2 inches of insulation. Great stuff. All right, then you let that set for at least 8 hours. I'm gonna enunciate this because I did not let mine set for like 8 hours. Plus I had it encapsulated with the tin foil, so you know, by the time I took the lid off, it was a mushy mess and really, well, it got messed up. So that didn't work out very well. So make sure you let it set up for at least the 8 hours. Then you'll be good to go. The wax paper creates a barrier so that you can actually take it apart. Like the great stuff won't stick to the wax, right? So you can actually take the two sides apart. Now you can put your dish inside that tray. Hopefully there's enough room. You left enough room for the tray's deep enough so that you can put some ice packs or some ice in there. If not, no big deal. The stuff holds temperature really well. So you just put it back together and there you go. Homemade cooler. Not only that, you don't have to carry the thing back home. You just throw it in the garbage. Yeah. So that's it, guys. That's my... Shoot, this is probably only a couple minutes. Sorry for the incomplete pictures. I really wasn't going to make a video out of this thing, but I figured this actually worked out kind of well, so, you know, why the hell not? Anyhow, if you liked this video, throw me a thumbs up in there. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell icon for future videos. I've got a bunch of them. Like, I'm going to try taking this here camera lens that I happen to have and see if I can't make that phone a wide-angle lens, right? And I got this here Husky inflator that I burned out the motor, and I'm like, you know what? It'd be kind of fun to, like, replace the motor with, like, maybe a brushless motor or something and, like, soup it up. I even got this TV. I want to take it apart and see what's inside of a CRT TV. You guys might actually find that very interesting. Anyhow, bunches of stuff coming up. Got a review video that I'm really trying to get like more professionally done kind of thing. That's taken up some time, but I apologize that it's taken the videos a while. I've just been really, really, really busy. Anyhow, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that bell icon is clicked. Hit a thumbs up in there. If you guys are interested in seeing a little bit more straightforward put together presentation of how to do the homemade cooler in a box, that's what I'm going to call it, homemade cooler in a box, then I have a Facebook page. It's The Renaissance Builder. So go to Facebook, look up the Renaissance Builder. There's a page where I share all kinds of memes and fun stuff and share the projects, and I'll try to post like a thing that's a little bit better put together for that. If you're interested in helping out the channel, go ahead and hit up my Patreon. That's you just look up the Renaissance Builder on Patreon, and you can help support the channel. Everything would be greatly appreciated. So that's my spiel. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. You know, hopefully this actually helps you guys out. You know, when you're like stuck up a tree and you need a cooler of some odd kind of cooler, or you just need a package to keep something cold. There you go. It works. I might even use that to ship a computer. Huh. Anyhow, you guys have a good night.
Bye-bye.